It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. We have a great interview for you today for our Friday episode. It is my pleasure, my privilege to bring back one of our first guests that we had way back in April of 2020. My very good friend, all the way from Portland, Oregon. We were classmates at Rio Hondo Prep. It is my privilege to bring you guys Bill Ritter today, an audio engineer, musician up in Portland. It's been a while since we last chatted, almost a year to the day. So let's get right to it. My good friend Bill, let's go into the waiting room and see what Bill Ritter's up to. Let's see if he is here. Hey, Bill Ritter, what's up, my friend? Welcome to the program.
What's happening, buddy? How are you?
Oh man, it's been a while, Bill, and I should get this right here. You go by many names. We got Bill Ritter, we got Brill, B-Rit, Crime Dog, Chicken Ritter, Really Bitter. I know you don't like that one, and William Alden, Matthew Dane, Barton Ritter. You go by many names, brother.
You know them all, so you can pick whichever one you want.
I love it, man. Well, you know what, Bill, last year, I came up with this idea, we're going to do a podcast, and I had no idea exactly what I was getting into, but you were one of my earliest guests and very supportive. You were one of the first guys that I put a picture out of and said, hey, here's who's coming on the program. And that picture popped up the other day as like a Facebook memory. I was like, man, it's been a year since our last conversation on the pod. Time has flown, man.
Time has seriously flown. No joke, man. One of the wildest years of my life. I don't know about you.
Oh, I think that I speak for that speaks for many of us. But it was fun back then. We didn't really know what we're doing. Now we're on a Zoom call. We got this will be up on YouTube, and we're recording this on 420. I know a big holiday up there in the Portland area, Bill. So happy 420 to you.
Likewise, I'll be celebrating in a bit here.
Oh boy, that's funny. Anyway, well, Bill, what's new and exciting, man? Looks like the hair has grown out a little longer, and yeah, it's good to see you on camera.
Hey, likewise, man. Yeah, the hair is going long. It's been a while. I think I've had one cut in the pandemic. It was my girlfriend's first try cutting the hair. She did a damn good job, and I've kind of let it go.
Okay.
And it's funny because I live on top of a barbershop. Like I could walk down. I literally. And it's a really nice lady down there running the spot, but
no kidding.
Yeah,
that is funny. So, girlfriend, huh? How long's this been going on?
Yeah, me and my sweetheart, we've been going about 4 years now, almost.
All right, I love it. Good for you, man. Look at us. Former presidents of Rio Hondo Prep, now with steady girlfriends here in our mid-30s. This is wonderful.
Well, I would hope so. No.
Oh boy. Well, let's see, Bill. Have you had a chance to listen to much of the podcasts throughout the past year now? I know for a stretch there, I was doing one every day. Now it's just every 3 days a week. But have you had a chance to tune in here and there?
Yeah, I've been tuning in here and there, especially since you got the YouTube up and rolling.
Okay.
I don't have a TV around the house. I'm a YouTuber. That's how I get my information as far as news, as far as things that I follow, the sports that I follow, the music that I follow, etc. And so now you've been on there. I've been seeing you with Bill Barnes on there. What is it, every Wednesday? The Wednesday weigh-in, right? Is that right?
The weekly Wednesday weigh-in, absolutely.
The weekly Wednesday weigh-in. Yeah, I've been checking that out. And it's cool because like me and Bill Barnes are like, Bill Barnes is an ex-cop. He's a nice guy. I'm an ex-umpire too. But like as a 420 celebrator, we were kind of pitted against cops for a long time, and so we're kind of opposites probably, but that's okay. That's totally okay. And that was kind of something that I've always loved about our friendship, man, is we could have different ideas, and we could talk about it, and we could be on different pages, and that's fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. We've been arguing about things since we were cleaning dentist office together late at night in high school. I mean, you'd say something, I'd be like, What are you talking about?" I would say so. I mean, it was just,
Yeah.
first of all, if anyone who's had a brother before, or any sibling really, but especially brothers, uh, you argue at that. I mean, from like day one, that's just what you do. You fight over toys, and he hit me first, and this and that, and that's just part of the fun. So
There you go.
I'm glad you tuned in, man. I appreciate it. And let me ask you about that, Bill. Kind of, we talked about that off
Yeah.
air. Off air. The whole idea of YouTube and kind of not social media, just online streaming. Whereas, before, probably could have never thought about life without a TV, watching the Lakers or the Dodgers or whatever, Sports Center. But now in 2021, you got so many options. YouTube, you can pretty much watch anything. If you really, really want to watch something on a movie or something, you can find it usually. So how long have you kind of been without a TV and that kind of YouTube lifestyle?
Well, good question. Yeah, I think I moved to this apartment 4 or 5 years ago, and just never bothered to get a TV here. Didn't seem that I needed one. I mean, if there's a game I really want to watch, there's about 50 bars down the street from me. Yeah, a lot of which have been closed for the last year. But really, realistically, if I want to watch a game, I can. And otherwise, I can just watch the highlights later. And to think of, like, I think a lot of people are sick of the political news that you can get through television.
Yeah.
Because it's so blatantly biased on either side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to say it. It's corporately controlled. It just depends on which corporation owns it and their slant and where things are going to go. We see bullshit on both sides. Pardon my French. Now on YouTube, you have a chance where anyone can come on, have a platform, and anyone can watch, and anyone can say what they want. Anyone can think what they want about it. And a lot of things people say on YouTube are utter bullshit as well. But a lot of it is, enlightening, and a lot of it has been, very good to be able to find. I think a lot of people are on this. And if you want something that's on TV, you probably can find it on there anyways. If you do want to Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or whatever your jam is, you can find it on there too.
Yeah, you don't need and I have streaming now. I don't have your standard cable, but I get pretty much any channel I want. I could find any movie I want, really. It's quite the age we're in. But I heard this one time, Bill, and I thought it was really fascinating. Something you would appreciate is that one of my favorite sports guys, Clay Travis, said this. He said, whatever you believe, doesn't matter what you believe. It could be anything. It could be something about UFOs. It could be something about religion. It could be anything. There is literally a place online or YouTube or wherever where you can find information to back up your claim. Anything you believe, pretty much, you can find information about this thing that you believe or that other people believe in. So it's kind of like, no matter how radical your view is or your thought is, you can find, quote, evidence, one way or another. It's a scary thought, but it's also like, okay, that's why we believe what we believe.
It's Pandora's box in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to call anyone out, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure the earth isn't flat. Pretty sure.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good one. Yeah. But you could find evidence, or not evidence, but a video.
You could find people who would agree with you.
Uh-huh.
Not that.
That's a great point. That's a
and
really
y'all would all be wrong. And I can say that with confidence and smile, but like, you can say that if you want.
And it's like, okay, good for you, man. Yeah. The earth's flat. Yeah. Congrats.
Now, sometimes beliefs are harmful.
Correct.
And that's a pickle. Because somebody might believe somebody else ain't worth shit, or that person ain't worth to be alive. I believe that's fucked up. And we see that, it's always been swept under the rug. So, like, think about wars and stuff. I mean, it's a mess, anyways. I can't solve all that, but
wouldn't it be nice?
It's an interesting thing we're living in today with the way things are.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And I mean, I got to ask you, let's just get into the coronavirus, for instance. I mean, we both live in two areas that are, I don't know how else to say it, rather restrictive. Some would say cautious, whatever. But after a year of this now, I mean, I understand safety. I don't want to do something stupid. There was a sense of, I don't know about fear, but just a sense of caution. Absolutely. You know, washing your hands more, sanitize, whatever the case may be, not being around a bunch of people. But have you felt there's been any overkill with some of the restrictions, or do you feel that, it's better safe than sorry? What's kind of been your viewpoint now that you've had over a year of this?
Well, this is a very tricky one, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a situation that, as the sign suggests, is we have a highly contagious respiratory disease, right? That also you can carry without knowing it. So it becomes a moral pickle, right? Because if we accept that fact, then we have to play in some cases on the safe side. Now, however, living in complete fear has caused a lot of problems too. Personally, there's a time when one of my friends did get COVID, and I had been like next to them for a few seconds, masked up and everything. And I probably wasn't just drinking enough water, was celebrating 420 too much. I don't know. I got a headache. I'm sitting here with a headache right after my friend's like, yeah, sorry, I got COVID. I can't come to the show, kind of thing. And then we played a show. The only show I played during the pandemic, maybe 2 shows. And it was the only one that was indoors. It was a weird show. The band was all inside and the crowd was all outside.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. And anyways, so I start thinking I have COVID, and I'm taking my temperature and I'm fucking sitting. I'm trying to drink enough water. I didn't go outside. Okay, I get a COVID test. I go in there. I'm so nervous. I can barely take a needle, right? Doctors. Okay.
Yeah.
They're shoving the thing. Okay. Woo, that was something. Yep, negative. It was fine. But at the time, middle of the spike, right? Middle of the spike. We were November, and that was our hugest spike here. As far as that might be incorrect. I'm not positive, but it was a huge spike. There was like a 2.5 hour line for the test. Like everybody thought they had COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was. So you see what I'm saying? Like, do I think it's an overreach? Of course, yeah, in some situations, and I've heard California's been in some ways a little more ridiculous. I mean, and then you see the hypocrisy from the people making decisions. It makes it harder to go along with that kind of thing. But all in all, yeah, I mean, like, I believe coronavirus is real. I don't want to catch it. I don't want my friends' family to catch it. But like, the facts are it's a highly contagious respiratory virus, and a lot of us will catch it. It's just gonna go around, and you just hope people are well, and you hope that enough people. When people catch it, it's bad, but it's also they're developing immunity to it. So if they can handle it and it doesn't have major effects on them, that's kind of similar to them getting a vaccine. I could be wrong. I'm no scientist here, but like, you see what I'm saying, man. I don't have all.
I get what you're saying. Absolutely. And my thought is that, we had some scares too. We were around, man, Bill Barnes, he got it. And I had just recorded with him, and it's funny. You start to do the thing where you're like, you start to like feel you think you feel things, you go out of your way to be like, wait, I feel different here. Or you said like my head hurts. Oh, wait. And you start to like overanalyze your body, and you're like, wait a minute, calm down. You're fine. Yeah. Relax. But so yeah, it's just been crazy to me that caution, fear, safety. I mean, these are words that are just thrown around now, and maybe we all do get it at some point. I don't know. Maybe some of us have had it already. That's fine. I just feel like sometimes instead of progressing forward, it feels like we want to go backwards. And I mean, for you as a musician, Bill, and working in the music industry, you and your colleagues have had to be hammered by this thing, not being able to get out and perform and do things. I mean, that's damaging to me. I mean, what's it been like for you guys just kind of sitting around waiting?
It's been incredibly tough. It's taken tolls on our personal relationships. It's been difficult to keep it going. But and as far as being in the business we have a studio we run, and it's slowed down a lot. It wasn't super busy before COVID. It's a narrow niche as is. And also, we literally slipped through the cracks of every PPP. Sorry, you didn't make enough money in your first year. You lost money in your first year. Sorry, you don't qualify for PPP. Okay. How about EIDL? Yeah, good. We passed a bill, $10,000 going out to all small businesses. Well, hell yeah, let's do that. That's all we need. That'll do us, right? For the nope. Sorry, don't qualify. New round of EIDL. You will qualify if your neighborhood is 20% poverty rate. Okay. Look it up. Government website. 21%. Oh, we're gonna qualify. 21%. Shit, maybe we're gonna get the money. And it is. I guarantee you, it's about 50% in that neighborhood. That neighborhood is filled with camps. We're in the middle of Port, like downtown-ish, right across the river. Sorry, we have a new website with new data. Yeah, it's only 19% poverty in your neighborhood, not 20, so you don't qualify. So even though there's been assistance, okay, Shake Shack got millions. The Lakers, they gave it back. They had a PPP loan. They didn't need that shit. Yeah. The small businesses did. We can see that on both sides, both political sides. Wow, that was a sham. And now the Democrats had their turn. Another sham. It's like they're not looking out for us. We know this. That's what people are sick of it. And we can't even have a realistic democracy with two parties. We all know this. There's no choice. Sorry, dude. You could try to pretend like you liked Trump or Biden, but I think if you had another choice, you wouldn't have chosen those guys. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like sports teams. There's not only two teams. There's usually 30 teams, in a sports league, and there's many different, fan bases and such. So I think what happens a lot of times is because it's a two-party system that it's like, well, there's your two choices. And it's like, really? Well, this is all I have. So the thing is, it's been such a two-party system for so long. I don't know that it can ever change, even though there've been other third-party candidates. Ross Perot comes to mind. There's other, Green Party and all these other parties that are there. They're on the ballot, but they're not really, we'll say it, relevant. They're not relevant. I mean, it's the two parties that are the at the front of the line. And Bill, I got to tell you, I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. Everyone had to do this. I had to go through unemployment. I was, out of work for months, not knowing what I was going to do. And I echo your sentiments in the fact that going through the process, I was so frustrated and so mad. It eventually worked out for me, but the red tape you got to go through, the things you'd have to do for a non-tech person like myself, yeah. And any of that stuff drives me crazy. And I can't imagine the frustrations that were out there.
Yeah.
For everybody. I mean, you just spoke on it with you and your colleagues.
Yeah. And it was a weird situation. I mean, if you're in business for yourself, then what unemployment are they giving you? Who's your employer? You're your employer. You don't got they wouldn't qualify for that either. And it was tough, but fortunately I'm okay. I was buying Bitcoins. All my savings in the cryptocurrency.
B-Rit Coins. Yes. Talk to me. Talk to me about what's that?
You want to know how crazy it's going to be? Between you and me, I guess I can't say that on a podcast. Yeah. But I might go from the lowest income bracket to the highest income bracket in 1 year.
Yeah.
No joke.
Wow.
How the heck did that happen?
I don't know. You tell me. Pretend I know nothing, Bill. Pretend I know nothing, which I probably don't.
It cost you 5 years ago.
How much did what?
A burrito cost you 5 years ago.
Ooh, well, are we talking Del Taco or
No, a decent spaceship burrito.
Spaceship burrito. That's right. Yeah, we'll have to tell that story sometime. I don't know how that came up. Yeah. Spaceship burrito. I was in an interesting place, but
nobody else knows about it though. It's all good.
I don't know. A few years ago, $3-4, maybe $5. It's a huge one.
Yeah. No, what are you paying now?
Man, 8, almost 10.
Yeah.
Double? Say double. Easy number.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was it, about 1960 or so? We got off the gold standard. 1961, if my history is right. So the US dollar essentially used to be backed by a certain physical amount of gold. No longer the case, which is fine. That's okay. You can do that. But also on top of that, when banks are giving out loans, they don't even have the money they're giving out. It's like they only have to hold 10% of what they're giving out. So they might not, like when you're getting a loan, it's like they're printing money actually. And then you got to pay them back plus interest. Well, where did that money for the interest come from? Well, shit, we got to print more money. We got to, okay, right? So we're in this endless money printing loop in fiat currency. Now, this isn't just the US dollar. This is every currency around the world. Central banks are printing money. Economies are collapsing. What do? We need money. Okay, print more money, print more money. This isn't just COVID. Okay, this was happening before COVID. The 1.9 trillion or whatever the latest stimulus, drop in the bucket. Okay,
I know.
The bank getting a free check, a blank check for. All right, so now in about 2008, someone or some group of people, we don't know the truth because the person is a mystery, created something called Bitcoin. Bitcoin was like the first successful cryptocurrency as far as we know. Bitcoin solved the problem in cryptography. You can have money, right? But let's say I sent money to you and then I sent that same money to someone else, right? There's a problem. I can't spend the same dollar bill twice, right? I can only give it to you. I can't like give it to you and give it to them at the same time. There's only that $1 bill we're talking, right? Bitcoin solved the problem where you can protect from that cryptographically. So mathematically, you can't spend the same Bitcoin in two spaces at the same time. Each Bitcoin is accounted for in this system. It's a very complicated system. I couldn't explain it all to you, but if you can understand the simple principle of there's only 21 million of them, never change it. That's as many as there'll ever be. So there's a shortage of this currency. And then there's this other currency, the US dollar, that there is not a shortage of. There's an infinite supply of. So when I say I made money, I didn't make shit.
You remember?
I just held money, and now it's worth more than the money it used to be.
Do you remember when we were in 8th grade being taught by Mr. Dan Davis, and he's talking to us about economics and money and, you know, the mint and all these places. And I remember as an 8th grader, I said, well, wait a minute. They're printing money there. I was like, why can't you just print more money? Like, why don't you just print more money? Like, it always, as an 8th grader, I was like, yeah, this is worth $1 or whatever. Just print more of it. Where
people need to make it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They just make it. So, but that's almost like the mentality now. I see it's like just print more money. And it's like, I'm not an 8th grader anymore, so I understand things don't work that way. But I feel like some of the spending we've done, it is just that. And it's not just recent years. It's for a long time now. Oh, just print more money. It's no big deal. I mean,
well, my ticket, this is beyond just the spending. This is like beyond just government spending. They're loaning money to the banks, making money for the banks. And so there's just more money getting supply, and that's happening on a massive scale. And if you look at like where the total money is in the world, like where most of it is in like, I believe it's like derivatives basically. Okay. There's like a $1 quadrillion market of basically like financial products, packaged loans that failed, etc. Okay. Things that aren't even nothing. Right. And, you know, it's a big mess. Okay, we known that, you know, and cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is the tip of the iceberg. Okay, like if I was excited about the internet in 1992 and I told you, you got to try this thing, Netscape Navigator or whatever it was back then on your AOL, you know, I would recommend it to you. That's like me saying buy Bitcoin now and 3 years ago and 2 years ago and 4 years ago. That's like that. But like, I would not recommend nobody to be using AOL or Netscape Navigator today. I would say get on your Google Chrome, get on your Firefox, whatever, you know. See, so there's many other cryptocurrencies that are going to change our world. And it's like just the tip of the iceberg. I think it's total, like today, Venmo announced they're going to have cryptos on. You can buy Litecoin, you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy Ethereum.
I was just going to ask, can you use this to make purchases these days? Or jokingly, Venmo, yeah.
I have bought things with Bitcoin. I've bought things from friends. I bought a bag of weed from my friend the other day with Nano. Yeah. And I joked to him because Nano at the time, I gave him like 9 or whatever. It was like a $50 bag. And, you know, I said, well, this is going to be a $5,000 bag of weed one day if you hold on to that Nano. Nano's gone up in price, already doubled since then. So it's already a $100 bag of weed. You see what I'm saying? I go up to.
I'm trying to follow.
So yeah, anyways, yeah, we have a crazy changing future. I couldn't explain it all to it in one podcast.
Yeah.
I've been studying this for four years or so. Yeah. And it's still, some of it to me is, you know, hard to understand. I need to get into programming to really get it. But like on the surface level, I can interact with it. I can use this money, and it's totally changed my life. And I would recommend it to anybody to put some of your money into cryptocurrency, no doubt. If you have any amount, even if you had $10, I'd say put 5 of it in cryptos. What's the loss?
Yeah. Now, one burrito, basically, right?
No.
So okay, you're a big theory guy, Bill. Take your crystal ball now. What do you foresee with cryptocurrency, as you say, down the road? What do you think is going to be?
This year we're going to see a mind-blowing pump. We're going to see an insane numbers. If people who are in it are going to look at it, and I talked to friends in the past before who were in it last time it pumped, because I forgot to mention this. Bitcoin, right, basically goes through 4-year cycles. Every 4 years they have something called the halving, or the halving, depending on who you ask. Every 10 minutes, sorry if this is a lot of info for anyone listening, try to take notes or catch up. It's all on the internet. You can look it up. Every 10 minutes, Bitcoin is mined by someone. Some lucky miner around the world gets to get do what's called mining the block. Okay. And when they do that, they receive a reward. Okay. The reward is a certain amount of Bitcoin. Well, here's the thing. Every 4 years, that reward gets cut in half. So now you, instead of receiving 10 Bitcoin, you would only receive 5, right? So now the global supply of Bitcoin that's available is down. By like 2100, people were receiving like 0.25, 0.1 Bitcoin to mine a block. Whereas when it started, it was 20 Bitcoin or 50 Bitcoin. I don't recall what they mean. So you see, the cycles follow this pattern. Every 4 years, we see a major pump in Bitcoin. You can look at the chart, and guess what? All the other cryptocurrencies follow. Bitcoin is the king of the land, right? When Bitcoin's hot, they're all hot. And we're in that 4th year. That's what this year is. I've been riding it, okay? And like, you can get on if you want. You can see it. You'll make a bunch of money really fast, and then you'll lose it all. That's the fucked up part.
Wait, that doesn't sound like a good selling point.
Okay, check it out. Human psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something gets hot, people start jumping. I don't know if you've seen this. There's a video going around. It's and if you can look it up, it's like this weird dance party that came about at some festival. I forget, it's like Lollapalooza or some shit. I don't remember which one it is. There's a bunch of people in the field. They're all chilling. One dude's over there just dancing like everything he's got. He's giving it, and no one's dancing with him. And then one guy comes up, starts dancing with him, and they're just
I see.
No inhibitions. They're laying. And the next thing you know, 2 more people, 5 more people, 100 more people. Before you know, it's a huge old dance party and it's going crazy, right? And that's kind of what happens with human psychology, right?
Oh, yeah.
Someone's trying something. What is this thing? I don't understand. Okay, what's going on? All right. Oh, okay, it's going well. Oh, I want to try that. Oh, cool, this is going well. Yeah. Okay, cool. So a bunch of people start piling in. Greed takes over. Everyone's trying to get rich. Everyone wants to get rich. They're all throwing their money down. Well, guess what? The people who were buying it at next to nothing 3 years ago, like myself, we're going to sell it.
Yeah.
At that point, we're up 100 times. We're going to keep all of it? No, you just sell one 100th of it, and you already got your initial investment out. This is how every market works. This is how every stock works. It just goes faster and harder with cryptocurrencies. It's a smaller market. And over time, even if you ride out those peaks, like you went to the peak and you came crashing down, I did it. And then you wait and you wait and you wait. And then eventually the thing comes back up.
So let me ask you, what would be the reason to hesitate? Why people don't go all in on this like Bill Ritter does? What holds people back?
Well, one, it's if you need the cash at hand. I was fortunate enough where I had enough cash and savings that I was able to try it. And I feel blessed that I was in that position. But having said that, if you have any excess income, like $20 a month, $10 a month, you should be saving some of it in something. You can put in stocks, that's fine. Put in stocks you agree in or whatever. But if you look at the money though and say money itself is going to inflate, here's a sound source of money, it seems like an easy play. Keeping money in cash, why? What are you going to make of your bank account? 1%? What's inflation? It's going to be more than that.
True.
Now, your burrito $8 now, right? So
it's criminal. Remember when Frank McCourt took over the Dodgers, Bill, and our chip witches that we loved at Dodger games, They went from like $6 to $9. The team didn't get much better on the field. They just spent more money. McCrook, you called him Frank McCrook, which I loved. Well, Bill, I appreciate it. I mean, I don't pretend to know very much about anything really, but it's I'm open to always hear different ideas, different philosophies and theories, if you will, and interesting stuff there on Bitcoin.
There, and I'll try not to go too much into it. It's a lot of my life right now is studying this stuff and learning about this stuff. So I talk about it a lot. My girlfriend's sick of it. She bought some, she's okay with it. I convinced her back when it was, fucking $4,000, $5,000 Bitcoin to buy some Bitcoin. It's worth over 50,000 per now. So like, she's like, okay, I guess so. You weren't crazy. I just thought you were high. Like you were telling me this shit. I'm like, I seen it. I was high. You're right. But like do the math.
Yeah.
It's there.
Give me your money. Give me your money. I got a great, because that honestly is something that throughout history, anytime someone has come to you and said like, hey, I have a great idea to invest in, most people, I don't care what the subject matter is, what it is, most people are going to be hesitant. Like, you want like, I work hard for my money. I don't want to see, whether it be the stock market, Bitcoin, a donation, it could be anything, but because most people are just like, I work hard for my money. I like knowing where it's at, seeing where it's at,
And you're right on. And if you look down the rabbit hole, Bitcoin is that, because with Bitcoin, you don't even need the bank. You can pull it out. You can have it on your own wallet. You can have your own Bitcoin to yourself. No one can touch it except for you. That's having your money.
It's very true. Very true. And what's funny is we've gone from, at least I have, I went from, I liked seeing cash money and carrying cash, right? I liked carrying cash and knowing how much I had to spend. Now I don't like carrying cash. I like having it all in my bank account, on my card. I don't like paying for cash for things. So it's interesting how we do evolve in kind of our daily life too, regarding our finances. I know I've come a long way from how I used to be. Those $9 janitor checks that we used to get, Bill. I mean, those were gold back then.
What were we getting paid? $9 an hour?
No, well, it wasn't an hour. It was $9 for like 20, 30 minutes. So at the end of the week, we were bringing in $27 for working an hour and a half or whatever. That's not bad. Think about it.
Yeah. But we were spending like a good 40 extra minutes driving in the middle of the night to get there.
We drive there, and but man, as a high school kid, you want me to vacuum and dump a few trash cans for $9? Absolutely. That's in and out twice back then. That's 2 burritos.
2 burritos is worth something.
How much should we pay you? 2 burritos an hour. Oh, sign me up. Absolutely.
1 burrito coin.
The B-Rit burritos. Oh man, there's all kinds of things we could play with your names and everything. Bill, so I'm gonna jump around now. You got more Bitcoin talk? You got any more? I'm sure if more stuff comes up, just jump in.
That'll come up at some point, but let's go on to something else.
All right, jump around.
I got something.
Oh, all right, here we go.
Now I've done some umpiring. Some of my first days umpiring were with you. I haven't umpired a baseball game in
Bill's out call reach to the ceiling.
That's good. But yeah, I haven't umpired in a long time. I don't miss the stress of getting, I did some more basketball officiating. But anyways, I got 2 interesting calls, 2 different sports to talk about. I didn't prep this. Okay. First one we'll do is baseball. You might have seen this play. Happened a few days ago. Kershaw was pitching for the Dodgers.
Oh, here we go.
And he comes in with the left and he gives him that pitch right down the middle. The batter's frozen, right? Yep, you know what I'm talking about. He gets a late swing in. Like the ball is in the catcher's glove. Okay? It's already in the catcher's glove and he hits the catcher's glove. Right? So now he's out, but he's like, yo, Blue, interference. I hit the catcher's glove, and they're like, manager's coming out, hit the catcher's glove. All right. What are you calling if that's what you saw? Ball's in the catcher's glove, bat hits the glove. Is he out, or did the catch impede the swing?
Well, I saw that, and it's funny you say it because, my roommate is an umpire. still working, a ton of experience in AAA, college baseball umpire. Now we've worked a ton together, and we were actually arguing about this briefly, but he was dead set on it being catcher's interference, and I go, I mean, the ball's in his glove, like before he swings, and then he was like, well, but what's to say? I mean, the catcher coming forward, he couldn't swing, and I'm like, okay, so strike three. So say strike three, he catches it and he starts to step forward to retire a runner, and then the guy swings. I mean, where does it end? Where, to me,
Yeah.
the breakdown is
base, if I remember right.
What's that?
I think they ended up giving him the base.
Yeah, I think they called catcher's interference, and that rule does send the batter to first base. So quote here from OBR, official baseball rules: a defensive interference is an act by a fielder that hinders or prevents a batter from hitting a pitch. So the Dodger fans in us, let's be honest, the Dodger fan, but I think you're an unbiased guy. You're like, okay.
I mean, I'm a Dodger fan in my heart, for sure. Always will be, since my dad was taking the games when I was, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
But, just for the sake of the rules, I want to see the right thing made. And it seemed like the person should have been out. It seemed like the spirit of the rule was that he was kind of trying to hit the glove after he was like the ball. You can't hit the ball out of his glove. It's in his glove.
That's intent. You can. So again, if you read intent, you can definitely go with that. Like, oh, he was trying, or the one, my favorite one, it was something along the lines of, the ball goes to the backstop and then the guy swings. He went around, but the verbiage was he trying to strike the pitch? Was he trying to hit the pitch? In that situation, for instance, you could have catcher's interference. Let's say the guy did not swing. He started his swing and he stopped and he hits the catcher's glove. That's not a swing, but that's still catcher's interference because you are hindering his ability. But to your point, with the ball in the glove, the pitch is ended. And then he starts his swing. Yeah. I saw it. I was like,
he wasn't gonna catch it. If he did get his swing through, he was gonna miss. It was already by him. He hadn't caught, the bat had not popped the plane to get there. But yeah, wow, what a weird play.
Very weird. I mean, baseball is just one of those games that you think it's a simple game. You hit a ball, run around the bases, you just play catch, but you see very weird things like that. And I got to tell you, amongst umpires, because everybody talks, around the country and everything, that has had a lot of discussion. Some guys have said, I don't think that's catcher's interference. Other guys have said it's in his glove. How could you call that? So that's what makes umpiring great to me, is that there's judgment involved and it's not always black and white. So when to give you my long-winded answer, when I first saw it, I said, I don't think you can call interference on that. As I've debated it, I think more and more with other guys, I'm leaning more towards maybe you can, but I still feel that I don't know, it's in the glove already. And I actually umpired Jurickson Profar his first year coming out of Curacao when he was like 17 years old.
Batter in that play?
What's up?
Are you talking about the batter in that play?
The batter, yeah. He played when I saw you up in Oregon that year. He played for Spokane, and same expressions. Nothing's changed. It's the same. What? This confused look like everyone's against him or something. So that was funny to see. But the batter must have a realistic chance of actually hitting the ball, or let's see. Yeah. So I don't know, Bill. Flip a Bitcoin. I don't know on that one.
Good. Now there was another play, different sport, and it's one where the officials rarely are seen. Okay, and it's golf.
Love it. Here we go.
I might be butchering the name. I think the name of the player is Ji-Woo Sen. It's a Korean player, if I believe. I'm not sure. But in a recent tournament, they were putting the ball from off the green and made a great putt, read it perfectly. The ball's rolling right towards the hole, okay? And it gets up to the hole and just stops. And I'm talking about, like, the ball is like, I can't really do anything. It's like halfway over the hole. It's like that, right? And it stops, okay? And now the player's walking up to the ball, and they get there, and they're like, well, I mean, like, it might go in, and as far as, the understanding is that you have some period of time to wait. to see if it falls in. If the ball's still moving, you can't hit it. So if the ball's still moving, it has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they wait about 30 seconds. The ball falls in. And both players see, because in golf, there's a lot of honor system, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not enough officials out there to even see everything that's happened. They can review it on camera and such in the PGA, but like it's on you, like you're the one who signed your scorecard. Okay. And the people you're playing with, so both of them are like, well, we don't really know if that counts. So they ask the official over, and the official comes over, and well, I'll leave it at that. What do you think should happen?
Well, let's be honest. I mean, my point is, okay, let's say it doesn't count. Let's say it doesn't count. What do you do with the ball? You just put it back where you think it was? Do you consider that a drop? What if the ball went in the hole? I mean, if
that's what I'm saying.
The ball stops and there's an earthquake and it shakes the ground enough to put the ball in, to me, unless the ball is interfered with or it is again struck by the club for another stroke, I don't see how you don't count it. But as far as a time frame, I don't know. If the ball drops in the hole before your next stroke, I would think it would count. I don't know the technological terms for it, but
same. Then that was my intuition too. And having played the game a lot, and my understanding was it's kind of vague. Like I think that they've put in some rule about something about 10 seconds, as in you get up to it in a reasonable amount of time, walking to it, obviously. And then if you're just waiting for it to go, it's supposed to be within 10 seconds. If it doesn't fall in 10 seconds, you're supposed to hit it. But the guy he's playing with is like, that ball's moving. I can see it's moving. It's moving. It's barely moving, but it's moving.
Wow.
And so it was a really gray area. I think that they ended up not counting the birdie or whatever. Like he had to count one extra stroke for waiting longer than 10 seconds, I believe is what they ruled. But it seemed pretty messed up. I think that one should have counted. We've all seen that shot Tiger Woods hit on the Masters a few years ago where he chipped it and it just sat on the edge for a second and it just falls in. And it felt so good and the crowd just exploded. But yeah, that was something else, man. And I've never quite seen that.
That was Tiger Woods' play, wasn't it? It was
Tiger Woods years ago, on the Masters, where he had launched his first shot over the green and just curves and trickles and looks like it has no chance, and it just keeps trickling, stops right on the edge, and then crowd explodes. One of the greatest Tiger moments.
Okay, so I'm looking at what is this? Played ball as it lies. If the ball comes to rest and is then moved by natural forces such as wind or water, the player normally must play it from its new spot. Well, its new spot is in the hole, right? So
that's what I'm saying.
I say you can't. I mean, to me, Bill, that's like one of your drives to the basket where you get a little bump at the free throw line. You take 4 steps and you finish at the rim. I think we count it. Got to.
Hey, you can call my games anytime if we're counting that. I'm down.
What basketball were you refereeing? Like men's games or something?
No, I was doing youth ball up here, like some AAU stuff. I couldn't really handle the coaches. I mean, I don't think the guy will ever see it, but one of the parents was the coach.
Shocker.
And, he was also the referee's manager. Like he was the guy who hired all the refs. So I'd get on his games and he'd be screaming the fuck out of me, And I'm like, dude, no. You can't just bully me because you're paying me here.
No, absolutely not.
No, just screaming. Yeah, that's how it goes. I could have been thinking, but it wasn't worth it at some point.
I teed a guy once and he goes, "Don't I get a warning?" I said, "That is your warning. one more and you're done."
Basketball, tricky one, especially when you got the coaches over there, right, that are just like literally screaming to try to intimidate the other team. Players, they're just trying to hoot and holler and it works. Like younger players get, you got some kids screaming at you,
They're kids. Everything's a travel. Everything's a double. Like you let some things go. You just try to get a little flow, and the kids run into each other. Like you try to get the alligators and let the lizards go. You get the big stuff. Come on.
It's a good way to say it. And it's important too, you got to call the game. Like some coaches would be like, no, call that on my kid, cause like they were trying to teach the kid, you can't do that. And it's like, 7-year-old or something. You can't do that. Like maybe you let something slide, but he's like, no, I taught him he can't take all those steps. You got to call that. And I expected that when coaches did that. It was hard, but okay. Yeah. Yep. It wasn't easily called travel on that if you want, but I've been calling it looser all day,
I wish more guys refereed just to get a taste of like, okay, what it's like. Maybe you won't be so out of control when you're either coaching or playing or whatever.
Yeah. Definitely helped me calm down about getting frustrated about missed calls because
you can't see everything. You can't see everything, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. Well, kind of
they're like, do you even play though? Or something like you probably didn't even play basketball, like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
Go.
Yeah. And as someone who was just a little enforcer at the high school level, not quite the star you were, that always angered me. I'm like, hey, I know I'm a little heavy and I don't look like I played basketball, but I set screens for Bill Ritter back in the day. I was really good at that stuff. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, you had a shot.
I'm the backdoor man, just a little backdoor cut, trip him out.
Let's go.
Boy, get the old look from Bill. See, we're on video now, so we can do some of the expressions and stuff that we used to have on the court.
What's up with the kids days? All their games on the internet now. I mean, like it seems like if I was uploading a video just for my friends to see, I'd put it on YouTube. So like, are all the kids' games going on YouTube now?
Yeah, Rio's Mr. Bray does the filming. He does Facebook Live. He does stuff on like a YouTube channel.
Wow.
There's some Rio Hondo Prep Football, a YouTube channel where they do highlights and stuff. I mean, it's really cool, man. It sure has changed quite a bit.
I would stay in tune. I would stay in touch, with the old team and see what's going on,
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, big win at Bill. I mean, can you believe it? Rio played at the Rose Bowl a few weeks ago. They beat Poly.
I did see that. I saw your clips from that. I saw a few of the clips from that, and that's the trip. And they only 8-7 or something. What's going on? Is the defense better, or the kids just like a little shaky with their first game back?
Well, I mean, the other 2 games Rio had played, they were scoring 40+ points, right? But Rio and Poly really know each other well, their coaching staffs. And
you mean they can stop the Power 31 now? They figured it out.
Oh, there's all kinds of other plays now, Bill. They got remember? See, when you and I played, it was same formation every time, probably 7-8 plays.
7 plays. Yeah. And only one of them was pass, if I remember right.
Bill Ritter fade on one. Ready? That's
what really Doc Bray fade because no one could keep up with that kid.
Yeah, you were more the screen and go. You were a good route runner, as they say.
Yeah, like a total of 0 yards after catch.
Hey, you're a smart guy. Catch it.
I was gonna catch it and go down if I wasn't falling down, like just being out of position or whatever. They brought me down pretty fast. But I could catch it. I was gonna catch it.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt you would. If you got it in the atmosphere, Bill Ritter was getting. To Doc, I threw it far because he was fast and could run under it. To you, I threw it high. You could out jump anyone with your basketball hops.
Can't do it anymore, Matt. I was trying to dunk the other day and I kept getting hung.
No kidding.
Dude.
What happened?
COVID. I've been sitting around, man. I haven't been doing enough exercise. I got to get back on that sky's the limit jump program. Didn't Todd Carson put you on that back in the day? Todd or one of the Lee brothers might have showed it to me. I can't remember, but I remember that worked. It was hard work, but it worked. Like gain 6-10 inches on your vertical, no joke. I mean I remember that helped any sport, it take work, but like didn't need any weights either. There's no weights. You could if you want. Do it all. Calf training and stuff. Lots of calf, lots of lunge, lots of squats, and then it increased every week. Hard work though. Like I had to put on the Rocky soundtrack full blast. Training montage, baby. That was the best. I'm gonna stand up a second. Hold on. Cramping up. Oh yeah, a little stretch out there. Well, that's Bill. Why with your jumping program? That's why the first play of every second half of our basketball games was that backdoor lob to B-Rit up high, and we'd be like, is he gonna dunk it? Oh, he's not gonna dunk it. I dunked it. Yeah, I laid it in a couple times. Yeah, dude, getting all. I don't remember. I think Devin threw the pass. I think I set the screen. Anyway, whatever. But like he'd throw it high, and you'd go get it. That was a fun play and a great way to start the second half all the time. Easy buckets, baby. That's right.
Let me see here. It's been fun talking to guys about Rio and playing days. I've talked with a lot of guys who were graduated 20, 30 years before me, but in talking about our experiences at Rio, just on the athletic side of things, it's you almost feel like teammates with some of these guys. I know John Lee lives up in your neck of the woods, Steve Almond, you've seen them here and there, but like to hear them talk about the Rio playing days, and everyone's really, it's always fun to talk about. I don't care how long it's been or whatever, because
Yeah.
those are the best of times, man.
Hey, yeah, and thank you for cultivating this, man. Like, it's you doing this is what makes it something we can all share, and that's cool,
Oh man, absolutely. Last time we were here, I know it's been a year. Did we talk about when you had the scholarship thing of the day of the poly game? We had the
I
shoot
think
around. We did, right?
yeah, it was one of those things where sports was definitely the priority to us back then. I was thinking about how serious we took it, and it was unhealthy to a degree. I realize now that I wanted, when we lost in baseball. Let me revisit that experience. Let me revisit the last baseball game I think I ever played.
Yeah.
I might have got in one alumni game, but I think I honestly might have not, because I was literally traumatized.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. Let's go through that. Yeah.
Go through it together here after this. But
I'm here for you, Bill.
Thank you. I got a couch. Can I lean back? Get through this now.
Take your time. Take your time.
No, yeah. So we were playing playoffs, and if I remember correctly, what was the name of the school we lost to again? Do you remember?
Camp Kilpatrick.
Kilpatrick.
At Malibu High School.
And the pitcher, he switched on us. We saw him in the regular season, if I remember correctly, and he threw his traditional. And we hit him in the playoffs, and he learned how to side sling it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What do you call it? Submarine style. Mm-hmm. And we were so confused. It took us the whole game to figure it out, really. And I think I was pitching. I threw a decent game. We were close. And I remember I was up. We had a couple runners on, and I was just trying to get my bat on the ball because the kid's stuff was good. It was confusing, and hit a little chopper to short, and I'm running as fast as I've ever run in my life. I wasn't the fastest guy horizontally, but man, I was booking it on that play. That was as fast as I've ever run. And I beat it. Ball went over the first baseman's head, bounces off the fence, comes right back to him. I don't see any of that happen. I just see the ball go over his head. I'm flying down the line into right field, and I get the go-to sign from Coach Loomis, and I'm like, all right, I'm going.
Go. Yeah.
And the second, there's no chance. The ball bounced right off the fence to the first baseman. He lobs it to the shortstop who's there waiting for me. I was out by 40 feet. I got in a pickle or whatever, but that was it. I was done.
Doc Bray was on second. We were down 2. You hit a chopper or something, and it was a tough play in the hole. They threw it, like you said, over the head. Doc, I think, scored. And
was it Doc or Jordan who would have been on? I think I usually hit right before Doc, if I remember.
Oh, you know what? So maybe Jordan was on. That's right. Doc was up second. Doc was up behind you because he was our 3-hitter, I think. And yeah, and Bill, we always grew up, at least I did. I know you felt this way. Like, we were always going to win. Even when we were losing, it was like, we're not going to lose. And it was just like, whether it would, back then we thought, we thought God cared about, sporting events and stuff too, but still internally, we thought we were going to win. And so I remember during that rally, we were rallying, and as the ball goes over the head and Jordan scores and you get up to go to second, the ball took a perfect hop off the wall. And I remember as you're dead meat in the pickle with 2 outs, I'm thinking, in the split second it happened, I'm going, no, he's going to get out of this. He's going to get out of this. We're going to win.
Figure their shit out. And I was believing it. I was trying my hardest, but it was.
and you go down, you get tagged out, and you go down face first. And, it's been a long time, but I remember looking
for a while.
I looked out at you, and you were devastated.
Literally devastated. Yeah. And it meant so much. And I think that was, at the end of the day, it's a good learning experience. It wasn't, the sun's coming up tomorrow, man. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. But at the time, I remember looking out at you and being watching them celebrate. And it's like, that's, we played stuff in college and adult leagues and stuff, but I was like, that's the last time I'm going to play sports. Like, it's over. And just it happened like that. And I was just like, I couldn't gather myself. I felt so bad for my friend out there who, it wasn't your fault.
Down, and that's why it felt just as it felt worse to me. That really hurt, but like, we were playing baseball. Who cares?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like,
It is
live over here in a country where we can just play ball for fun. Like we don't have to worry about so much else that could be going on.
just the instant loss. I mean, it was like, it's over. Everything we've worked for over the years, it's over. And I felt that way after every sport we lost. Man, football's over. Okay, well, at least we got basketball. Basketball ended. I was like, okay, we're going all in. We're going to win a baseball championship. And then baseball ended, and it was like, wait, it's all gone. There's nothing left. And yeah, that was a tough pill to swallow.
And as we get older, we see that there's way more outside. Whatever thing we're doing, there's always more going on. That So.
Oh yeah. Well,
I wish I would play baseball again. I've never played. Maybe it'd be fun if they have an alumni game. I'd hop down there. I probably would struggle, but it'd be fun to try.
Man, well, you guys could put together an Oregon team. You and Amin and John Lee on we could have like a Northwest team or something with Northern California guys and Oregonians up there against the SoCalers maybe or something like that.
Wow. If we're yeah, wait, where's Ken live? Because wasn't Ken the hooper of the hoopers of
No,
Louisiana?
no. Well, we get Ken. He's down here in Rancho. We get Ken Lee. And Bill Lee, we get him inside.
I remember shooting with Ken one time, and I didn't know him as well as the other Lee brothers. I think I knew Bill the most when I was younger, but I remember shooting with Ken at one time, and he started shooting left-handed. I think it was Ken, and he didn't get any worse. Like, he was shooting it just as good.
Wow.
Left-handed, right. And I remember thinking, damn, that's something. I got to get that.
He's amphibious or ambidextrous.
I'm getting better at it. I would challenge him. I don't know if he listens. Ken, if you're out there, or any of the Lee brothers, I'd love, or the Drain brothers, or any of them, anybody. Let's play horse.
Let's zoom horse. Let's do it.
Zoom horse. Let's go.
I'll announce it. We'll do a podcast. It'll be great.
Tournament.
No,
because I can't dunk anymore.
No dunking. If there's one thing you don't tell Bill Ritter, it's that you can't do something or to challenge you. Like I remember Todd gave you a book that said that the first sentence, it challenged you. It said something like, I dare you, you can't finish this book today or something. And that was always your mentality. Someone told you couldn't do something. You're like, what? And you'd like train for it and just be ready for it. Are you still that way, Bill? It's
still in me. I've tamed it because it got me in more trouble at the end of the day than it could. And when you're not in a hyper competitive, setup, you gotta chill out a little bit, but also it's still there, it still comes out when it happens.
Well, I gotta imagine in the music world, being a musician and everything, that it kind of comes out there, right?
It did it originally, and I had to drop competition in music. It's a different spirit. It's a different spirit. And like at first, like I didn't know how to approach anything not like that, And so I was trying to make like, dude, this music's going to be so epic, man. It's going to be so sick. And like, people are going to see it and be like, wow, that's so cool. They did the thing. And I was like, gnarly. Wow. But at the end of the day, what do people want from music? They want to feel good.
Yeah.
They want to hear something that makes them bob their head, right? They might want to dance. They might want something that's just like something for their mind to be on while they're sitting at the bar, So because of that, I started playing keyboard more because I can play. I got 10 fingers to work with.
Yeah. What instruments can you, man, you're like Stevie Wonder over here. What other instruments can you play? You got the trumpet, the guitar, now the keyboard. You're all over the place.
Yeah. Play a little drums too. I mean, like once you're around it a lot, you end up wanting to try them all. And they all cross over, music's music, quarter note's quarter note, eighth note's an eighth note, and then like when your music theory harmonically, which is what I've been diving into more the last 5 years. And like, I'm a terrible music reader when I say music theory. Like I can see when I'm playing guitar, I can see the piano keyboard, and I can see my fingers playing the notes on trumpet in my head.
Oh, okay.
But I can't read music for shit. I never could. Even back in band, I was faking. I just sat next to you because you were pretty good. Play all the notes. I couldn't. Reading the rhythms and stuff was hard for me. But yeah, I can see like when I play, it's fucked up, pardon my French, because on trumpet, right, it's a B flat instrument. Okay, so whatever note you're playing, let me make sure I get this right, is really one whole step lower than what everyone else would play. So if I have to say, if I'm playing a D on my trumpet and I'm playing with the guitar player, I need to tell them to play a C.
D, C. Oh, it's a full. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the trumpet is, yeah, I believe I have that correct. I always mix it up anyways after years of doing it still. So stuff like this gets complicated. But I will tell you, like when I play an A chord on my piano, right, I see my fingers going A, 1 and 2.
Yeah. That is crazy, man. Like, yeah, I picked it up every now and then and played the trumpet just to play it. And I miss it. I miss the challenge of reading music, putting it all together, and then performing it. You and I had a ton of experience in that regard, playing various places. Yeah, I'm trying to get James Umamura on the program here, but he lives in Japan, and it's tough to work around the time difference. But that would be fun if I do. Maybe someday we'll put the three trumpeteers back together.
Oh man, so hard to do over Zoom, but I'm down to make it try because there's a little delay. It makes it really hard to play music over Zoom. That's one of the bummers.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I would love to make some harmonies and stuff. Yeah, harmonies tickle my bones. I feel it in my soul. That's like, I'm not super religious anymore. Sorry if this offends anyone, but like music to me, I feel it in my spirit. And, harmony is something that's just, it's mad.
I recorded with a guy, Douglas Kirk, about on an episode about music, and he's a musician and plays in these bands in Bakersfield. And my topic with him, or one of the things I said, was that music, the beautiful thing about music is that it's not a language. It's a universal language, I should say. It's not, the sound is the sound for everybody. It's beautiful that way. You can almost communicate through music. And back to the trumpet, one of the things I love the trumpet, obviously it's the only instrument I know how to play, but I love the various sounds you can get from it. It's an incredible jazz instrument. You hear it in classical music. You hear it in church music. You hear it in rock bands. You hear it all over, different kinds. So that's why I like the trumpet. I'm a little biased, but do you think kind of guitars or keyboard, they can kind of contribute in other forms of music as well, different sounds?
Yeah, I'd say the big thing with trumpet, the limitation becomes like most of the time. I mean, you could argue you can play two notes at once, maybe on some weird harmonic shit, but like you only got one note, right? You can play one note at a time. But with these other instruments, especially with keys, I'm finding, you got 10 fingers, right? And a regular major chord is just made up of 3 notes.
That's it.
Like a C is C, E, G, C major. But then you can add a B, and now you get this cool, that's a 7. You got the high D, and now you got a 9. Well, that's all I can. So I can be like, and make this whole thing instead of just one note. And that's what's cool about trumpet, though, is it kind of, or horns, right? They kind of either beg for, like you're talking about, mastering your technique so it's jazz, right? Because you could just have one horn player just sitting there and feeling it. Like I don't have that. I don't have great jazz chops on the trumpet. My trumpet is like, we were learning fight songs and play them as loud as we could, right? We had a touch, but it was mostly like Tribute to Troy, Forte, Let's Go, First Down. But now, like jazz is a whole nother thing, and that's something I want to get down on my trumpet playing. But piano just lends itself for jazz more.
But the different way you strike the keys, like piano, even it can be a lead instrument in a rock song, or it can be kind of that soft, melodic, I don't know, just soothing sound. Like the trumpet, like think about mariachi trumpets. Like that sound is so different than like a muted jazz trumpet. It's the same instrument, but it sounds completely different. And I love that about it.
Yeah. Some of that's the studio magic, and some of that's the actual instrument and the technique. And it's really something, and I've been pursuing that and studying it and doing it professionally now. It's awesome, man. That particular field doesn't pay well, unless you're super famous, and that doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. Like if you're trying to play music to get famous, you probably should just do something else.
Yeah. What is kind of the future look like for you musically, and what you're doing now? As far as audio engineering and also playing, I mean, what are some things on the horizon for you?
Well, we'll see what comes. I've been working with a couple different bands the last year, some of which I play in and some I'm just recording, some I'm just producing. Quite a lot of music to finish up, quite a lot of music we just put out. In fact, there's a band, which I'll shout out. There's this band called New Do. There's friends of mine from Portland, phenomenal keyboard player. This guy, Devin DePaulo, he's from Boston, lived in Portland for years. He just moved down to LA and he's trying to make it down there. And that guy, I'm telling you, you want to see someone play the keys, go check out New Do. I don't know if they're doing any shows in LA yet, but when they do, go see it.
What's the name again? The band name?
New Hairdo. New Do. Yeah.
Okay. That's clever.
But yeah, so up here with my bands, we're hoping to get back out there and hit the summer shows. We're hoping there's a lot of outdoor shows coming up, and we've been asked to play on quite a few. I think that's kind of where we're going as far as, you know, because there's a social pressure too. Like if, okay, let's say it's safe to be in the bars or whatever, like the bars are opening, but then like some people might, you know, like, I don't really feel comfortable sitting inside yet or something. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we only get 3 or 4 good months of weather up here anyways, and it just happened. It's happening now. So like I'm thinking about buying a generator. We might be doing some of that. We did some park pop-up shows last year, which were great. We want to hit the road, and outdoors where it's at, you know, it takes off the social pressure of like, oh, you're putting people at risk. They could die from this, you know? Well, let's just go outside.
Yeah.
Out, you know? So I think that's where a lot of musicians are going. I mean, usually you can't just pop up in the park. Last year we did it and no problems. You know, like I've tried to go through the city to use the same park. Since I moved to Portland, they have this beautiful amphitheater at one of the parks, and you can't book it. You can't, like, they won't book you. So it's like, what are we doing here? There's a power up right there. It's turned off. I'm like, well, what is this here for? They do like like 4 or 5 times a year, bands in the park, but it's like, dude, this could be every Saturday. And it's like tucked away anyways. Like the noise is not that bad. So anyways, now we're kind of seeing, I think our whole town is kind of like, oh, we could just do it. And then if they stop us, they'll stop us. But there's so many bigger things going on there. We're peaceful.
I think a lot of people are feeling that way in California, especially down here, is that a lot of people are now like, all right, enough of this. Like, we're just going to do stuff. You know, what you're going to, you know, when restaurants were closed and stuff, some of them were like, I can't close, I'm opening and find me or whatever. And so that's been an interesting dynamic as far as, you know, following people that are rebels kind of going against, you know, what the government says and this and that. And that's a fine line, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You can't have chaos, but at the same time, it's like, what do you want people to do? Let the bands play in the amphitheater, man. Come on.
Yeah, and that was a pre-COVID thing that they were silly about too. I mean, they just were like, you know, I don't get, there's a stage. Let's put some people on it. I don't
Absolutely. Know. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Am I being?
No. Why have it? Absolutely.
We're not a loud band either. Like we're loud, but we're not like loud. You know, I don't wear earplugs in practice, and we don't play so loud that I need them. You know.
I remember your first performance, Bill, in Azusa was that Smart City Grinds, the Marshburn band or whatever you guys were called back then.
Phantom Scream Syndrome back then.
Right. And you were on stage running the room, and I was like, Bill is made for this.
Yeah, man, I never forget that show. It was my first show time playing out, you know, like other than stuff with the school, and it was scary. I mean, we wrote all the songs, dude. We didn't, like in school, we didn't get to write the songs, but then it was like, okay, well, what songs we better write something.
Yeah, we were at RLA. It was you and Brian Veller and James Corsini and Doc Bray. Was there someone else, or was that?
I think Baumgartner was I think Dan was in the band at that time. I can't recall. Dan was in the band for some period. He was playing bass.
Oh, bass. James was drummer.
James was a drummer. Yeah. Yep. And trying to get that kid back playing drums is a phenomenal drummer. I think he has been playing a little bit. I think he's got his YouTube channel going, actually.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I remember we all gathered, and that was a big deal. And you guys rocked out that night.
Never had such a great turnout. Like, it's funny because, like, this is how it works for bands, right? If you're like 18, 19, and like, say one of your bandmates is in high school still, okay, you book a show, you're gonna, like, you got a bunch of people, you know. When you get older, you don't know a bunch of people, like, just in your life, right? You're not just gonna have 100 of the same people you see at school every day. Mm-hmm. It's like, so like trying to get people to come out to your shows later on in life gets way harder. So if I have any advice for people trying to do it, book a bunch of shows early on and like, you know, get everyone to come out before they're sick of you, but practice first. So you're good enough to keep them coming back.
I know. No, I know what you mean as far as reaching out to people and like, okay, who's your audience? Like, I had no idea when I started this that this would be like a constant Real Hondo Prep infomercial, but it kind of has been just because that's the audience. It's a lot of the people and talking about our memories and things. It's been fun. And, you know, there's been other parts of the audience as well. Bill, I got to ask you about this. Let's talk a little basketball. And, you know, I'm not quite the NBA guy I used to be, but right off the bat, I didn't prep you for this. I don't care about off the court stuff. I just want to talk about on the court stuff with these two guys. Okay. Talk to me about the late, great Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James. Everyone wants to talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. We can do that too if you want, but talk to me about Kobe versus LeBron as far as their body of work.
Wow. What a question. LeBron will go down as the greatest player in the history of the game. Sorry.
Okay.
Statistically, he's put like rebounds, assists. If you're going on statistics, he's got Kobe covered, period. All right. If you're going on physicality, he's got Kobe covered. I mean, LeBron looks down at the rim sometimes when he's dunking, especially when he's younger. Kobe was athletic as like super athletic, but there's a difference there, you know? Who do I want taking the last shot? Kobe.
That's my question. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Kobe. But also LeBron's got a record of hitting clutch shots too. I mean, there's that one turnaround 3-point. I mean, there's a bunch of highlights, but there's one that comes, I can't even remember which team he was, might have been the Cavs still. Full court pass, catches it, turnaround, 3-pointer on the wing, banks it in. It's like right in their face. You know, LeBron's passing ability, to be able to transition. I mean, not that he didn't have the ball in his hands a lot, but he's pretty much a point guard now. He's Magic Johnson with Michael Jordan athleticism.
I felt that he always was, though. Even when he came in the league, his one of his biggest assets was passing.
It's real. You're right. You're right. And that's not a knock, you know, that he's always been good on it, you know. Kobe, good passer, but I think he used the pass
twice.
It was less frequent, you know, like he was more like, oh, you're going to double team me. Okay. You know, especially when he's younger. Okay, cool. I'm just going to turn around and shoot a fadeaway jump shot that neither of you can touch. And I practiced it so many fucking times. Guess what? I know it's going in. And if it misses, the next one's going in. And if that misses, the next one's going in, you know, and it was cutthroat. It was Mamba. It was on that mentality. LeBron, similar. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? You got knocks on any of these guys? I mean, these are some of the greatest players we'll ever see, no doubt.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. Well, who would you rather build your team around?
LeBron.
Really?
I say it with my mind, not my heart.
Not your heart. Oh, that's why I wanted to ask you, because I know no one loved Kobe more than you, and but you're a realistic basketball analyst, we'll say, and yeah, I've always been curious because when LeBron, I mean, you know how I feel about LeBron James. It's not even just his off the court stuff. I've never liked the guy. I don't know why. He's talented. I saw him play in high school. He's the same age as you and me, same class of 03 and everything, but I don't know. I look at him versus Kobe and I'm like, to me, it's not even, I mean, no, I shouldn't say not debatable, but I'm a little biased, maybe Kobe being a Laker. I know LeBron's a Laker now, but I just think LeBron has always had this, like, I don't know, like this poor me mentality, it seems like. And I do give guys like Kobe and Michael Jordan. I know Jordan played for the Wizards, but I give them credit and kind of for standing their ground and staying in one place. So maybe sure, I shouldn't be so hard on him for that, but I do.
Like at the beginning, you said, on the court, that's off the court.
Sure.
Right.
You're right.
I mean, it ends up being on the court because it's what team you're playing for, but that's like on the loyalty stuff. And that, but like, look at this league, they're making a bunch of money off these players. The players are making a bunch of money off the teams, and they should be, like it's a business. And like when people move on, it's okay. Am I honored that we got to see Kobe his whole career play for the Lakers? Hell yeah. He could have left. He almost left a couple times. And it was awesome that he stayed, and the fan base will love him forever for that. Like straight immortalize him, even though he's passed on. Like, obviously, we're not forgetting about Kobe. You know what I mean?
Oh, no doubt. No. But that's the thing. Like, I don't think of LeBron as a Laker. LeBron could be the greatest player ever,
now,
whatever you want to call it. I don't think he's a Laker.
Come around, like I realized when he became a Laker that any negativity I had about LeBron, from my perspective, was just like me hating because he was so good.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
I know.
That's how I had to look at myself. Damn, I need to check myself. This guy is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky to see him. I'm lucky even to watch him play, let alone the fact that I have some it's silly to me what it is, to be a fan, because it's like, what do I get when the Lakers win?
Nothing.
But what do I feel when the Lakers win?
Ecstatic, joy, smile. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not as much as it used to be. It used to be almost to me as real as my own team. Like, I was so sad when the Lakers lose. I was so excited to run around the street when they would win, and now I'm still stoked when they win, but it's different. I'm a little more mellow, but yeah, man.
Do you get grief up there in Portland for being a Laker fan?
Some circles, yeah.
Yeah, or do you keep it kind of hidden?
I try to say it with a smile, but you already kind of got to be like that from out of town. I mean, I've been here long enough to feel like I'm a Portlander now, but also there's people who just won't like you because you're from LA.
We were in Phoenix for a Dodgers Diamondbacks series. We made Doc and Jordan, and we're walking around, and Kobe had recently dropped 81 points, but the Suns had also beaten the Lakers, I believe, in the playoffs after a 3-1 lead. Which I remember. I don't know why I do, but you just kept walking around. We were walking by the arena, and all you kept doing was 81 points, guys. 81 points. You kept bragging about Kobe's big game, even though the Suns had beat the Lakers in the playoffs, which was funny.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, that time when I was really bitter. I mean, I felt like, honestly, Steve Nash got those MVPs handed to him over Kobe. That wasn't fair. I'll go to that. I mean, yeah, he was putting up insane numbers and really helping his team, but nobody on the whole planet Earth could guard Kobe those years. Nobody. It wasn't happening.
The Kobe stopper. Who was that? Bonzi Wells, the Kobe stopper?
Which, it was Patterson, whoever wanted to call themselves that, killed him.
Yeah. Hold him under 40.
I'm a Kobe stopper. I can hold this guy under 40. Yeah, come on. In an era when, nobody's scoring like that. Like, nowadays, yeah, score 40 points. Who cares?
Yeah. No doubt.
But don't get me wrong. I love the NBA. I love that it's changing. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. What's funny?
I'm on a 4-point line.
Do you really? Okay, that's a good point. I don't like all this changing. Look at why do we always have to change things? I don't like that they bumped the college 3-point line back. Now they're talking about the NBA line going back. I'm like, just leave the game as it is. I think it's great. It's a great game. Why are we trying to change everything? Although you want to?
I do. Look at ratings are slipping. Why not? It's a business too. I mean, if you look at the history, I mean, ABA came and went, there was times when look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's salary when he came into the league, right? It's nothing, all-time greatest scorer, came into the league highly. I think they offered him $1 million for 4 years or something. And in fact, I was listening to an interesting podcast that ABA was trying really hard to get him. And, George Mikan, in fact, was the president of the ABA at the time, one of the first great centers the Lakers had back in Minneapolis. And he was the president of the ABA, and he was supposed to bring a giant check to hand to Kareem Abdul, one of the big, yeah. And he forgot it. They forgot, they left at the hotel. They fucked up. And Kareem was kind of like, yeah.
So he needed a Bitcoin check, Bill. Even back then, you see, it all comes full circle.
That's real. I mean, you got players asking to be paid in Bitcoin now. What's the football player? Russell
Wilson
or something, or I don't know football very well. There's some football player who's a big Bitcoiner.
Oh,
and
really?
I think paid in Bitcoin.
Interesting.
Correct, but
you mentioned it, Bill. But isn't it funny how we treat sports as fans? You shouldn't care what random strangers, guys you've never met, guys that are paid ungodly amount of money, how they do in their performance. It shouldn't affect you like you have some control over it. They're never going to love you back. But yet we do that as sports fans. We cheer for guys and they wear a certain jersey, and maybe we hated them when they didn't wear a jersey, or we hate them when they go to another team. But when they wear your jersey, you root for them. It doesn't make any sense, yet we always do it. We're fans. You can't explain it.
I'm trying to get past that, right? Because all right, prime example of that, even more than LeBron. Like I already had mad respect for LeBron. I mean, he made the finals 8 years in a row. What are we going to say? Okay. Rajon Rondo comes to the Lakers.
Oh.
All right. He's one of the players. If he's not on your team, you ain't going to like him.
Yeah.
But if he's on your team, you're like, hell yeah, I'm glad that guy's on our team.
But like he was a Celtic. Like, can you imagine the Celtic players coming to the Lakers back in the day? Like, what are we doing? I was like, Giants who become Dodgers. I'm like, no, screw that guy.
It happens. I mean, like, shit.
But nice hit.
Well, let's say you're playing for the Lakers and they screwed you over.
True.
Let's just say the office just like broke your heart, And I'm sure that happened to some of those kids, like half the team they traded for Anthony Davis, which ended up being a good decision. But yeah, there's some promising young players that just got shipped out for that. They might have gone to New Orleans, But yeah, also let's talk about Lonzo. I don't know, man. Like he's not a flop to me. I think it was too much pressure. He got too much pressure on him. And also like the whole like shot thing. Yeah, he realized he had to fix that. You got to get it over here at some point. You got to get it. Like you got to get back straight. I bet I could beat Lonzo in a shootout.
I put money on you. Absolutely. I don't doubt that for a second.
So he's too inconsistent. The form for him to beat me in a shootout is a miracle on his part because his form is inefficient.
You know whose form was bad though? You know whose form was like ugly? Was Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller's. You remember when?
That's one I would back away from.
Yeah, I'd stay off that one. Remember when they played in the finals, Lakers and Pacers, and they showed Kobe like slow motion, his perfect form, and then they showed Reggie, and it was like however it's like cross hands and everything. But Reggie Miller's probably, maybe Steph Curry. Reggie Miller's one of the greatest shooters of all time. And
the greatest. Steph will go down as the greatest.
So it's not always looking pretty. It's about going in the bucket, right?
Yeah. But for real, 4-point line, wouldn't it be fun? They're already out there. Dame Lillard, LeBron, Steph, Trae Young. There's dudes shooting them already, right? If you make that a thing, even if they just did it for exhibition, I would be like so happy about it. Just for an exhibition game, just see how it changes the game. See what happens.
I guess so. When they put in the 3-point line, everyone was like, "What is this? This is stupid. Why would you have a 3-point line?" But
and now you got look at the numbers. Like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is now like number 4 or 5, if I remember correctly, in 3-pointers among Lakers in all time. Does that seem right? He's only been on the team a few years. Seems crazy, but he's got almost as many threes as like Fisher. He's catching up. Give
me your favorite Lakers of all time. I will say a starting 5, but if you want to go 10 deep, if you want to go a 5-on-5, that's fine. Give me your favorite Lakers of all time.
Well, Nick Van Exel is playing point. I'm going to take Davis. I'm going to take Kareem. I'm going to take Magic. I'm going to take Kobe.
So there's 5.
Take up to 6. Sorry, Shaq. No, Shaq, though, in the prime. But like in today's game.
Taking Anthony Davis over Shaq?
Yep.
Okay, just more complete player?
He can shoot threes. Yeah, he can play Shaq would have a harder time today. Granted, he would still be bullying people in the post.
Yeah.
No doubt. But
okay.
I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to leave Shaq off the list. Obviously, it's one of the most dominant forces.
Who was your 6th?
Shaq was the 6th.
Shaq was 6th. So did you mention Kobe yet?
Yeah, he was in there.
Okay, but you did not mention LeBron that.
Kobe, LeBron, Davis, Kareem. Oh, damn it. Magic.
Look at
Shaq. I can't help. This is why it's great being a Laker fan, buddy. I can't.
Yeah.
Kind of legends.
Well, that's why, you talk about legends. Those are easy. Jerry West, the logo.
Jerry West I'm sorry. Jerry Westwood got eaten alive today. Sorry, Coach Drain.
There's no way to find out. But you talk about Van Exel, 2 guys that weren't even on. Eddie Jones. How can, Eddie Jones is one of my favorite players. And Cedric Ceballos, they're not Hall of Famers, but still.
Nah. Eddie Jones damn near dunked from the 3-point line. He ended up finger rolling it, but he took off. Look it up on YouTube. Eddie Jones finger roll from the 3-point line. He did not realize how far he was, and that dude just flew about 20 feet in the air.
Yeah,
and flips it up and in.
So you didn't get a chance, Bill, to watch, or you don't probably watch much college basketball, even during March Madness.
Not anymore. No.
Okay.
No.
Pretty good tournament this year. Pretty good. Now up in your neck of the woods, I mean, it's in another state, but Gonzaga has turned really into a national brand, a national power. I don't know if the Northwest up there, if there's any kind of draw to them.
Remember when I was talking about the guy dancing and how Bitcoin's going to go up really fast and all that? Gonzaga used to be Cinderella, right? When we were younger, it was like, oh wow, how's this mid-major team making it?
I know, yeah.
And it's the same thing you see in football with like Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're still the powerhouse they became at some point, but like, you get these teams that are not as big, but then they start getting the rep, and players are going to want to go. Players going to show up. It doesn't matter what the name on the jersey is. If you got the horses right, and then you go out there and you're playing a game, but the horses are on this side, it's more likely to go that way.
Well, there was one thing I kind of realized a few weeks ago, and I said it on the show, and I said, I can't think of another team that used to be a Cinderella, and even though they haven't won a title yet, I know they're now a national power. I mean, think about it. I can't think of a team. There may have been some Cinderellas that got good for a few years, but
I didn't see much in the tournament. Didn't UCLA lose to Gonzaga this year?
Yeah, UCLA played out of their minds in the Final Four.
Think about that. Historically, UCLA needs to play out of their minds to try to almost beat Gonzaga. It's like, no, it's the other way around usually. But that's
you don't see Cinderella become a national brand, a national power that often. I haven't seen it very much.
Yeah. No, it doesn't happen often, but you do see it. And then, Gonzaga would be a great example.
Bill, you and I have been to many baseball Dodger playoff games, or maybe I don't know, but we always used to pull our hair out over Dodgers postseason. Where were you? Were you able to watch the final game? The Dodgers finally win the World Series, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that was during the period that I thought I had COVID and was feeling sick, or the period right after. I forgot to tell you this, man. I almost died this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, my appendix fell out of my stomach. Like, I had to get my appendix taken out.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was like, and I think it was around the time I was recovering from this or something. I can't remember, but I remember watching some of the last games there. And yeah, man, very excited to see him pull it out, But speaking of almost dying, that was nuts. Have you had your appendix removed?
I have not. No. Someone at work recently had that. I thought that was just like something that happened to you as a kid, but no, tell me about it.
It usually happens to people under 20. Okay. But yeah, like I just was minding my business. I was coming home late from the studio one night, and I got a burrito.
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night. I've done it many times. It's a great late night snack. And I wake up at about 3, like even before, like I was feeling a little funny when I went to sleep. I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm like, oh man, that burrito got me. Oh, and my stomach was hurting. And like if you're sick, like you got the flu or something, you like throw up and you feel a little better, Mm-hmm. Imagine like you just feel like you don't feel any better. There's no relief. So that happened for about like 10 hours or like the whole next day. And then I just like telling my partner, my girlfriend, like, something ain't right. I think I have food poisoning. Like, we got to go.
Ugh.
And go to the hospital. And I'm like in terrible pain. Like, I'm like throwing up in the bag when they're checking me in. Oh, God. And I'm telling them I got food poisoning. And the doctor looks at me and she looks at the thing and goes, I don't think you have food poisoning. We're going to do a test, for your appendix. And I was like, it's not my appendix. What do you mean? And then she's like, can you sit up for a second? She like pokes me right in the spot. And it's like, ah! Ah! So I'm like, okay, take me in. And they say, okay, well, we're going to give you a little something for the pain. We're going to give you a little bit of morphine. And I said, that's the opiate. I don't want it. Like, I'm a stoner. I smoke weed. I don't fuck with opiates. That's just that's like my, I don't know, religion or something. I'm like, I don't want that. And they said, no, like, hold on, I think I got to put my phone in. They said, no, you're going to want it. You definitely want this. And I said, okay. And they gave me one drip of it. And I was like the happiest person on earth. And I instantly felt way better. And so anyways, yeah, the next day they did the scan and like, yeah, okay. You know, we got to take you in first thing in the morning. Your appendix has just started to rupture. And like, yeah, popped it out. No problem. Came back from anesthesiology. I'm in the room with like everyone recovering.
Yeah.
And I'm just like feeling good. And I'm like, hey, everyone, we're going to make it. We're all going to make it. Stay calm.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Yeah, I'm telling everyone in the room, and they're laughing. The nurses are laughing at me because I'm just like loopy on the anesthesiology medicine. But yeah, if you get a weird pain in your stomach, man, like, and it's on the right side going, it was like good that I got it when I did. It took a long time to recover, like a couple months. No fun.
Oh,
No
well,
fun.
I mean, I have some dumb questions to ask. So like, I mean, you had to get cut and it like comes out of your stomach. How did that all work?
It gets crazy. It's called, I think it's called laparoscopic, or yeah, basically they pump your guts up. Pardon if it's uncomfortable. They lift your guts up with air.
Enough said.
Go underneath. So you can imagine, like, it took 2 months to recover because all your insides are being pumped up and then coming back down and settling back in. It's like not comfortable at all. But honestly, it was a clean surgery. Like, no infection. Got it out of there. Didn't spill nothing. They got it and cut it out and pulled it. My scars are minimal. They're almost gone. Like, I feel so grateful for the doctors and nurses that were there helping me, like, for reals. They saved my life. Straight up. They saved my life this year. I would have died. Think about, like, through history, right? Your appendix goes out, like, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years. You were done. That's it.
Yeah.
There is no chance.
Wow.
But, like, fortunately, man, we live where we live now, and here I am talking to you, man. I really feel blessed.
That's it, man.
Like, I got another shot, like, for reals.
Dude, that's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I wouldn't have had no chance to say bye to everybody. It would be an instant. And life is short. You never know, like, so, like, just live every day, man. Like, live every day.
I'm more seeing that more and more now, Bill, that, as we grow older, I can't believe we've been out of high school for 18 years now. That is nuts to me. But,
yeah.
More and more, it's just, you gotta be smart and plan and prepare a little bit too, but you got to live your life. You got to do what makes you happy. It could be music or sports or just going outside and hanging out with friends, whatever, drives you. You're right, man. We do got to enjoy our lives because time on life is time here is short and time is flying. I mean, yeah, I echo your statement, man.
Absolutely. It's like one of the truths that we can all agree upon, regardless of, whatever we believe, is just like, yo, you got to live it. You got to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, man. Well, Bill,
life is short,
Yeah, man. You never know what could pop up too. It could be an appendix or another COVID lockdown. You never know. So embrace what you got. Good stuff. Well, Bill, we've been chatting about 90 minutes now, man. I could talk to you another hour or so about anything.
Be too long.
No. Well, you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to wait another year before we do this. Now that we got YouTube going and video and Zoom, let's make it happen.
More of a quarterly here. Let's get back on.
I like that. 4 quarters. Yeah. 4 quarters. I like that.
That sounds great.
4 quarters both ways. Bill Ritter, Brill Ritter, Chicken Ritter, B-Rit, my man, Crime Dog. It's been a great time chatting with you, dude. Any parting words?
Much love to you. Much love to all the people around listening. Wish we could all hang out and stuff. It's been too long. Hopefully get back down to California soon and see everybody. So.
Oh man, how about an in-person podcast, Bill?
I can dig it. I can dig it. I don't know how this even come up. So today I got the vaccine yesterday.
Okay.
I got the vaccine yesterday, and I wanted to do like some science here because it's for science, right? We need to know. Just give me one second.
The Bill Ritter, man, that is a sweet rocking chair, by the way. Old school. That's got some time on it. I love it. I need one of those. I don't know where Bill's going, guys, for you guys just listening.
Well, the thing is, you got to test if we could do this with the vaccine. I don't know. So I figured we'd check it out. I'm going to test it out. I'll get back to you on how this goes. was feeling a little funny all morning from that vaccine. No joke. I felt a little funny all morning, but we'll see if how this crosses over.
Bill is
happy 420, everybody.
Bill is self-medicating for those just listening, not watching.
I don't endorse tobacco.
Oh boy, it's a little different up in Oregon. Well, Oregon, California, pretty much the same, just with different weather, I should say. Bill Ritter, it has been a blast, man. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas day here, and we will chat very soon, man. Like I said, I'm going to hold you to it. Every few months, let's do a quick conversation. I think that could be a blast.
I'm in. Hell yeah, buddy. We'll see you soon, man.
All right. Sounds great. Guys, thanks for listening to this episode of the Get Home Safe podcast. And as always, guys, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe. Bye, guys.